What's up guys, your friendly neighborhood demon here, bringing you a new video, and today we are talking about Ancient, the new map in the pool. This is the big news on the press. Valve have added Ancient and removed Train into the active duty map pool, so this means for majors, for big pro tournaments, this is the new map that is coming into the meta. And today we're going to be looking at some essential utility that I've come up with for the T side. This is obviously going to evolve a lot in the next coming weeks, months, and that's going to change a lot, but this is my initial impressions and util that I've come up with in terms of what you can do on the T side. So let's take a look and see what I have for you. So let's talk about the mid position first of all. Here's the mid position. The T spawn is over on this side of the map, and then the CT spawn is over here. The fastest way to mid position for the CTs is definitely this doorway just here, and then the fastest way for the Ts is through this entrance just here. So obviously the timing is going to depend heavily on the timings in terms of how fast you can peak things, etc. Most likely thing is the CTs are going to be able to make their way out into mid and take a bit of control before the Ts get hit. But smoking this off is a useful thing for sure to try and deny the CTs doing that. You've also got an entrance to mid from A over this side, but this is going to be a much longer route for the CTs to get here, and the Ts will be able to start making control and have to clear this angle first anyway. You can also make it through from B side, so from T spawn you can come through this and come along the back here and then enter mid from this direction and try and take it from here. But let's take a look at a couple of bits of util for trying to take control of this. Okay, so a line up from T-spawn for that mid-door position. Come back here in the back of T-spawn, line yourself up in the middle of this gap just here. Aim in the middle of the tree just here, and do a little walking throw. Just tap forward with walk and a jump throw, and that should bounce on the middle stairs and nicely pop in that doorway. It should be a nice early smoke to hopefully beat the timing of the CTs trying to get that mid control. But if you wanted to smoke it slightly later in the round and cut off that long range position and the mid door control, come here in the back of mid, line yourself up on the wall just here, and line your crosshair up on the bricks just next to the shadow. Another jump throw, and we're going to bounce off the side, and that is also going to pop really nicely in that mid door position and cover it well. And a flash for taking mid position just here. If you line yourself up in the same wall and aim towards the top of the tree just here, just throw that flash over just there like that, and there should be a nice flash to flash off the mid door position as well as the short tunnel position. So that's going to flash quite nicely in this and anyone playing this sort of mid door position, it's going to be hard to react to see it coming. It also flashes really nice pop flash of someone playing in the B tunnels as well. So now looking at the B site, the B site is probably the easiest in terms of util. It's quite an obvious thing in terms of what you can potentially do. There's these two sort of entrances here that you could smoke off. This is the actual site itself. You've got sort of the B tunnels situation. Oh my god, the B tunnel situation here where the Ts can come through and take control of this from this backlines area. I don't really know the callouts yet, but they could take control of the B tunnels, and then they can come through this way just here. So there's some pretty obvious pieces of utility, some little nooks and crannies. So let's take a look and see what kind of executes and stuff we could do on the B site. Okay, so we're going to start with the smoke for the back left of the site. If you come here and line yourself up with the wall just here, turn around, we're going to aim up towards the left building just here. If you aim up towards the middle of this pillar along the black line and just left click throw that, that's going to bounce off the side just there and land nicely in that gap to cut off any rotations and any CTs trying to help the site. We're going to smoke the other side of the back side now. If you come up to the left side of this curb against the wall just here, turn around and aim your crosshair up on the plant roughly where mine is just here, and we're going to left click throw that over the top. That's going to bounce off this back plat area and pop in that gap nicely, again cutting off CT rotations and allowing you to maybe with the other smoke pair in and get the plant down, take the site control and play for the post plant. Next, we're going to molly out this cheeky corner just here. If you come up to the back wall just here and aim up towards the top of the bucket string just here and jump throw that off the ceiling, that's going to molly nicely in the corner. So it'll molly right in the corner and to really push people out as it spreads quite far out onto the site and really will expose people and force them out of that corner. Another cheeky molly for that little nook just there. If you have B tunnels control, you can come here and aim up into the middle of the wood just here. And again, jump throw just there and you can molly right around the corner and do a similar job to what we showed before. But this doesn't spread quite as far, but it will get people out of that corner. So a couple of flashes just here. If you line yourself up where you throw the right side smoke and aim just above the two rocks just here, just left click throw that, that's going to actually bounce off the top of here and just pop over the top of the platform just here. And that should flash the site quite nicely. Anyone playing any sort of angles, it will be heard, it will be seen, but I haven't really got any better flashes currently, but this will work nicely. A similar flash idea to the other one, if you line up where the other smoke was and aim at this wooden board just here, just do a little walking throw just here, bounce that off the side there, and that's going to roughly land in a similar fashion to where the other flash was, but further to the left, a little bit closer to this little nook just here, and it will cover a couple more angles and be a bit of a different angle. Lastly, we have the A site. Now this is actually a really hard site to try and find some utility for. It's kind of like it has a reminiscence of a B site on Dust, where there isn't many options for actually throwing utility. You can throw some out the door kind of thing, and you can throw some really long smokes over the top. So let's take a look and see what kind of stuff we can get in here. Obviously there's two entrances basically for the T side, two obvious entrances, unless you go all the way through CT spawn, but that's most likely a very uncommon thing. So you can come through the mid position and you can take controls of what I'm going to call the short tunnel and enter this way, or you could take the long tunnel, and this is going to be easier to take control of as the T side. So the T spawn's over there. You'll most likely be able to get control through here. Most likely probably the CTs can make it up to about this point before you're actually taking control yourselves. So let's see how we can sort of deny these CT angles and maybe smoke and molly some things off. So a smoke for the A site. If you come outside here of a long and turn around, jam yourself into score and turn around and aim sort of at the V of the branches here at the lower branch, and as you can see where my crosshair is just here, and jump throw that just over there. That's going to fly all the way over the building, really long flight path, and just about bounce off the back wall just there and to fill in that gap from CT spawn to stop those rotates and cut off that position. And also, if you have mid control, you could smoke it out of the short tunnel. If you line yourself up at the curb, right side of the curb just here, aim up at the branches just here on the tree, and we're just doing a left click throw, nice and easy. This one's a little bit easier to do. It flies a little bit less. I couldn't find where it was in the air just then, but there it is. It fills in the gap actually slightly nicer. It's actually a lot easier to fill in that gap and have a nice lineup for this side. There's no real way of smoking off the rest of the site, so here's some mollies to help cut off some angles. You're going to need some cover for this, but if you come into the wall just here and aim up on the temple just in front of us and left click throw that, that's just going to land nicely into this new area that got added, and it's going to molly out the area they could be standing here. It's going to molly out this back corner, these angles just here, and cut off and push back people in this area. Another molly idea from this same spot, if you aim a little bit further to the right, a little bit higher, and again just left click throw that, that's going to actually land behind the boxes at the back of the site, and again cut off that area just to stop people playing behind these boxes and force them out into engagements. So a couple of flash ideas just here. If you come here where you line up the smoke and just aim at the top of the bridge just here, that's just going to fly over and pop over here. It's not going to be overly effective for most of the site, but it is an extra flash since it's so hard to flash this site. So a flash similar to B tunnels. If you throw a flash on the left just here, that can pop into the stairs, and that will actually flash the rest of the site, but won't flash your teammates actually trying to make it out of the tunnel, and it flashes quite well on the site as you swing out. So another flash, this time for the A short tunnel. If you line up on the wall and aim up on the blue tile just here in the middle and just do a little walking throw, that's going to bounce off the side there and pop nicely in the front of the tunnel area, and that should blind anyone sort of right in front of the tunnel. It should blind anyone at the back site, and it also should blind anyone in sort of the back connector CT kind of area in here. And it's going to be kind of hard to spot. It's bouncing quite high off the top there and bouncing down, so it's quite a nice flash to use. So that sort of concludes my initial ideas about the map. I'm sure there's going to be some more advanced things coming into the picture soon enough, and I will do another video on CT side utility. I think there's going to be a lot more, especially on the A site. I think there's going to be a lot more sort of lurk kind of smokes, things going on, maybe even double smokes kind of like this to kind of try and make it out. But in terms of lineups and stuff that I have initially, the obvious things, I think I've covered that quite well and given you some avenues and ideas to use in your own matchmaking, face it games, pugs, whatever, even in your team games if you're coming into any tournaments or anything. So I hope that helped. I hope you sort of develop on that. Let me know what you think, and let me know if there's anything that I missed, any cool shit that I missed. Link me, comment, subscribe. That would be really helpful for the next utility videos I'm going to be doing. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.